stitch together the bits of horses you like to make your dream horse.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the vlog. This is a post-Christmas, just before New Year one. Tomorrow I'm thinking we'll talk about New Year's resolutions and whether I kept up with them. Spoiler alert, I probably didn't. But today I want to cover the pickups that we didn't get to. Now, there was a thing a couple of weeks ago now from your point of view, and unless you're watching these back to back, in which case it would be like an episode or so ago, because yeah, I haven't been updating. I took Christmas off. Sorry guys, that's just how it is. And I wanted to talk about some of the pickups that I missed out from a previous video and may not have covered it all because I picked them up at a point where I wasn't talking about this stuff. So first of all, I can't remember whether I told you guys about this. Olympic Hockey 98. It's an interesting N64 game. A very different style of hockey because Olympic hockey doesn't allow contact. It's a non-contact sport for reasons best described as they don't want people to be fighting at the Olympics unless it's in a fighting sport, and hockey apparently doesn't count as that. So that was actually quite interesting. It was nice to do a different style of hockey game. I'm very big on my hockey games. That was a good one. In a follow-up to the video where I talked about all the stuff I'd bought from Sir Patrick, or Lord Treguard, I mentioned that there was a blank N64 cart. This N64 cart, in fact. I've worked out what it is because I plugged it in and tried it. It's Snowboard Kids. I've written it on the back so I know what it is. Snowboard Kids. Great game. Really good game. So, there you are. Mystery solved on that one. I was very, very happy. But there was other stuff. I can't remember when I mentioned Super Mario Maker on the Wii U. I've got to either get it cleaned or get it replaced because it won't load. The Wii U doesn't even acknowledge the disc. It's just one of those things. So what else do we have here? Ride My Pimp Street Racing. It should have been in my list because I've already got it. But it's listed on CEX as Euro Street Racing. It's not. It's just MTV's Pimp My Ride Street Racing. And it should have been in my list. It wasn't. So now it is. Kokoto Platform Jumper. This is an odd one. It's mostly French. It does have an English language version. In fact, it's the top language on the back of the disc. But for some reason, it's mostly from France. I think he's a French star of various cartoons and things for kids. Simple controls and intuitive gameplay for instant fun. 3 levels of difficulty. 4-player mode. 5 weird and wondrous worlds to explore. So not a huge game. It's basically a kid's mascot platformer. Should be interesting. I'll have a bit of fun with that, no doubt. Shinobi on Master System. It's arrived, and I might even have time today to play it. Over the last couple of weeks, my goodness, planning out, getting ready for Christmas, and getting all the stuff, all the work I needed to do done, has meant that I have had pretty much no time to myself. It was one of those situations where I had to get a load of work just done. Had to be bam, 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 get it all done, get it all finished, get it all out there. And I managed to do it, but wow, it was hard. 26-hour day is one of those days where I was working, and now I'm trying to catch up on rest. So I might actually have time to play some of these games. But that's not all. You might have noticed the Nintendo Switch behind me because I picked that up over Christmas. In fact, Christmas Eve I popped out to a CEX up in the northeast because I visited parents, and it was great to actually see family. I visited the northeast, picked up a Nintendo Switch with Animal Crossing, which has quickly become my favourite game on the Switch. I've been playing this so much. It's just so relaxing, which is exactly what I need after doing a huge amount of work and needing some time off. And new Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe, so it's Super Mario Brothers U and Super Luigi U on one cartridge. So that was fun. Also picked up a couple of downloads. So I'm supposed to actually pick them up, did I? You can't physically pick up a download. What's this? I don't. Why would you be picking up doing that? You'd be picking up doing that. So you can't physically pick up a download. But I did get some downloads for the Switch. So Limbo, which is very, very good. Amazing what you can do with no sound and very few colours in terms of storytelling. I've been enjoying that one. I haven't finished yet, but I've been enjoying it. What else did I pick up? Bullseye. Avoid. It's terrible. The DVD game with Jim Bowen is better. Where else was it? Dex, haven't tried that yet. And the original Dragon Quest, ported to the Switch from the NES. Actually pretty good fun. I've been enjoying that. Can't remember whether I've mentioned Rainbow Six Siege. It says that it also includes Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2. Probably doesn't, on the grounds that I'm pretty sure that is a digital download that requires a code. Let me quickly check on that, because, doesn't... Well, maybe it doesn't. We'll see what happens. I haven't tried it yet. So that'll be fun. But I have some big ticket items, and that's what I want to talk about. But I'm going to put them to one side and talk about the other stuff that I never mentioned in any of the videos. I mentioned a while back that I picked up a load of Nintendo DS games because there was a load in the charity shop, and I do like my Nintendo DS. Now, I picked up a spare DS because it was there, and the one I've got, it's my dad's old one, and due to its age and the fact that it's been knocked around a little bit, it has a bar across the screen of dead pixels. So I got another DS in case it gets any worse. It's still playable, just go by dead pixels. So I picked up a load of games. More brain training. You've got to have this because it's one of those things where if I ever try to go for a big set, this is going to be one of those that I've overlooked so many times and never picked up and then can't find. So I thought, I'll get it while it's there. I was a fan of the brain training stuff at the start, but it kind of felt like a gimmick after a while, so I haven't bothered with it anymore. But I do like my puzzle games, so we've got Real Crime's Jack the Ripper. I haven't tried this yet. It looks like your standard, like, find a hidden object, match 3, that kind of stuff. Not match 3, what am I talking about? Search for hundreds of clues to reveal the killer's identity, test your investigative skills with puzzles and challenges. That kind of thing. You know, the standard stuff. Puzzler World, which seems interesting. It's got a load of different styles of puzzles like crosswords, hangman, and one of those word ring games. So that should be fun. I'm going to enjoy that. CSI. There's so many CSI games, and they're pretty much all the same. This one is crime scene investigation, dark motives. Yeah, so use the latest forensic technology such as fingerprint dusters and an enhanced microscope. Oh my goodness! So yeah, I had to pick it up because it was with the rest. Now this one was interesting. James Patterson's Women's Murder Club, Games of Passion. Very much like the Jack the Ripper one, it should be very interesting. Mystery Stories, similar thing. You can see the person that donated all these had the same sort of interests as I do. Puzzles and stuff like that. Mystery Stories. The biggest adventure of all is about to begin. 180 plus exciting puzzles and minigames. Should be interesting. But the one that I have spent the most time on, I actually didn't pick up in that set. I found it in London when I was at christening. Jewel Adventures. This is Bejeweled, only mission-based, and it's weird. How many missions are there? It's like 20... Stunning mastery game with 25 enthralling backgrounds, 10 levels for every mission, so 250 different levels. Yeah. 10 levels for every mission, 250 different levels, so I think we all know 25 missions. I am up to mission 11. I have been playing for weeks. It's incredibly addictive. Seriously. I passed it over to my mum when I saw her at Christmas and said, give this a try, see what you think. She didn't want to put it down. It's that kind of game, and I am really loving it. It's great. So I'm very, very happy that I picked that up. It's fun. If you're into Bejeweled, get yourself a copy of Jewel Adventures. It is well worth it. But that's not all. So, we had the annuals come out, Amtix, which I wrote part of, and Crash. There was also, that's not even the right word, Crash. There was also like Zap 64. Fusion Magazine's got an annual. I think I've got a mention in it because I put a quick paragraph or two together for a compilation of everyone's views on the best bosses and bad guys from games. But I can't remember whether that's in the annual or an issue. I do write for Fusion Magazine now, so you might see me in a future annual, but not right now. What else is there? The other one they do, Toy Polloi and Zap Amiga. don't have any of those. I only went for the two that... Amtix because I love Amstrad, and Crash because I collect the Spectrum ones, and it's great. It's a lot of fun. It's nice to have a magazine for your retro stuff again. It's amazing how much it was missed. If I look a bit tired, it's because I'm still recovering from far too much work. Basically, Jen and I ended up workaholics, trying to get stuff done for our shows. And I'll explain a bit of that later on. Let's get on to the big thing, the stuff that I collect here. That you can see all of this. It's nice, yes it is. So what have we picked up on PlayStation 2? I have 5 more to talk about. And one of them is a big ticket item. Like, seriously. So let's start with Wrath Unleashed. Don't know much about this. It appears to be monster battling. 25 phantasmical creatures from 4 unique realms. Yeah, should be interesting. Some sort of monster battling game. Yeah, multiplayer action for up to 4 players. Move your army across the map to secure and eventually dominate the entire battlefield. One-on-one arena-style fighting. Yeah, it seems like a... I remember Godzilla Destroy All Monsters and things like that. That kind of thing. So it should be interesting. Then I saw this one, and these are hard to get. Like, seriously hard to get. Let's Ride Silver Buckle Stables. Horse riding games. Games basically for little girls on PlayStation 2. Very, very hard to find because there weren't a huge amount of people wanting to buy them. Until later on when the PlayStation became like the hand-me-down console. So it should be interesting, let's put it that way. Ride the horse of your dreams. Create the horse of your dreams from hundreds of combinations. So it'll be just like choose your character style menus, but the way they made it sound there is almost Frankenstein-like. Stitch together the bits of horses you like to make your dream horse. And then attach it to some kind of table. And when the lightning comes, pull the lever. It's alive! That kind of thing. But it's probably not going to mean that. But yeah, there's a few of these on the PS2. So that'll be interesting. And then we got to the big ticket items. Now, this one I almost didn't get because Jan didn't want to stop at an extra CEX on the way home. But I persuaded her because it's important to add to the collection. Secret Agent Clank. Been on the lookout for this one for a while. It's a big ticket item. It's like not the biggest, but it's difficult to get and expensive. It's basically a mascot platformer, but it's one of the spin-off ones that's hard to find. So I'm really happy to finally get it. And it is in great condition. Take the receipt out. With the manual, so it's all there, and it's really, really nice to have. But it's not the big ticket item that I was talking about. Next up we have a From Software game, so you know it's going to be damn hard. Kingsfield 4. Doesn't look like much from the front, does it? An accursed idol. A great quest lies ahead. The hit RPG series comes to PS2. Sounds good. Over 100 unique monsters and villains ready to claim their next victim. It's From Software. It's going to be difficult. Standard From Software RPG-style action brawler. Great condition, again. With the manual. Really very happy to finally add that to the set. It's been a long time coming. It's hard to find. Rather expensive. I handed over the cash with a little bit of a shaking hand, like, am I doing the right thing? And that felt like I was. But that's not the big ticket item. Seriously. You'll be staggered. Michigan Report from Hell. Yeah. The second hardest to get game after Rule of Rose, which we already managed to find a couple of years ago. So the collection is now possible to complete because the 2 hardest to find ones are in my collection. I am amazed that I'm actually holding a copy of this thing. I've said on the live shows a few times that I wasn't sure that a game of £500, yeah, 500 quid. It's a lot of money. Is it going to be worth it? I don't think any game is worth it, but that's what it costs. So if you want to get the full set, that's what you got to do. I've got a copy. Went to see it Jen and I on Christmas Eve, when I picked up the Switch, went to see what condition this was in. It is in as new condition. The only thing that's wrong is that it doesn't have the sheen. You know, when you first pick up a PlayStation 2 game or something like that, the covers almost feel slippy because the plastic doesn't have any wear to it. That's not here on this. It's been moved about a bit, although there is still a bit of that sheen. Everything is here in great condition. We checked out the inlay and everything. Perfect. It's amazing. Manual, everything. The back of it is hilarious. Let me read this for you. A mysterious space, thick fog has descended on the city and. No space between city and. Space, in a matter of hours, it has spread to the rest of the country. At this point, the Zaka TV team, Zaka TV is in massive font, go into action to make their full report of the events. You are the team's cameraman. Get ready to document this bizarre phenomenon. An army of creatures suspended between life and death, ... Now here's the hilarious bits. More than 15 hours of gameplay and 5 different... I kid you not, there is nothing on the end of and 5 different. Gain scoop points based on the type of films you make, whether descriptive, suspense-filled, erotic, or immoral. Yeah. Your mission as a cameraman is to collaborate with your team to try and get the scoop. This is by Suda51. You may know him from stuff like No More Heroes, Killer 7, that kind of thing. And yeah, this is going to be interesting. We are going to live stream when I attempt to complete this game. It needs to be seen. It is like the B-movie of PlayStation 2 games. It's ridiculous. So I will be enjoying that, I hope. I will be playing that anyway. And that's the idea. So, yes, Jen and I have been working flat out, as I mentioned earlier on, about trying to boost a load of the stuff that we're doing. We're making her shows as great as we can and trying to keep the audience interested on that. And I think it's going well, but we're wanting to move on to the same thing with Game Hammer. So Game Hammer had an episode, Popeye, that came out, and by the time you see this, I'll be working on the next one, which is the final one for the year, Game of the Year 1988. I do a thing at the end of each year where I do a Game of the Year show, but I don't do it with modern games because it's Game Hammer Classic Gaming. We do it with classics. So every year from I pick an old and I've gone from 85 to 88 this year in sequence. So it's going to be fun. So I'm working on that. By the time you see this, that's what I'll be working on. And it should be coming out either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Haven't worked out yet. But Game Hammer's coming back, and it's either going to be weekly or fortnightly. I haven't worked out the schedule yet. That's something that I'm planning over the next couple of days, and it's going to be interesting to do. It's going to be hard work, but it's going to be interesting. A few other things that are coming. The Hammercast podcast I've already mentioned on the live show. I think on here as well that we're doing it as kind of an adult-aimed Saturday morning magazine show. You know the type we used to have, like Going Live, Live and Kicking, and stuff like that, where it was like just a block of shows for kids on a Saturday morning, keep them entertained, and it was a bit live. It's that kind of show. I've got a load of cuddly toys that are going to show up in it. Worked out the setting here. In fact, I have talked about this. So we're going to be doing that. It's a lot of work, though. So don't expect more than one episode per month of that. It's just how it is because it's a lot of work. What else is there? CPC and things like that. We're going to be focusing on Game Hammer and trying to build that channel up. The idea is that I want it to be as big as it can be. I think it's got potential, and I want to try and push forward and give the people that back me on Patreon a bit of value for money, you know. So that's the thing I'm working on this year. I want to try and make it as big as I can and as good as I can so that you'll enjoy it. and hopefully we'll get the views in as I go with that. But that's the stuff I'm working on at the moment, and I better get back to it because otherwise it won't get done. It's going to be a lot of work. We're keeping Jen's shows going, don't worry about that. Her channel will still be going at the same rate and the same level of professionalism and the same level of hard work that we put in, but other things are coming as well. Oh, and the other one, Board Game Hammer, it will happen. I've already got the script, it will happen. So we'll see how that goes. But I better get on, like I say, because otherwise this stuff won't get done, because that is unfortunately the fate of a self-employed person. If I don't do the work don't get done. Anyway, thank you so much. I hope you had a great Christmas. Love to hear what your plans are for 2023, and let me know in the comments. Take care, have a great day, all the best for a Happy New Year. Bye. If you like the show, please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does help create future videos. That's patreon.com/Zoe Kirk-Robinson. And I've got an extra special thanks going out to Chief89, Sam Yates, Retro Mickey82, Mo Henry, and George Bortorini. Thank you so much, guys.